Hello, my lovely viewers. Welcome to another video of sports on the Fauzan Harun channel, and we welcome back once again wherever you are joining me across the globe. And in today's edition, unfortunately, I'm going to review the Chelsea Manchester City game, which was played at the Stamford Bridge, and another shambolic tactical display by Frank Lampard, resulting in Chelsea losing 3-1 to fellow title contenders Manchester City. And it seems Chelsea is not getting their acts together, and in this unpredictable title race, as so many teams keep on dropping points, and currently is still close at the top, by Chelsea going further down to 9th position after the win of Southampton against Liverpool yesterday at the St. Mary's Park. And first and foremost, I will look at the clueless lineup that Lampard deployed. The clueless lineup that Lampard deployed. It was quite clueless, the Lampard, the lineup that he deployed to face Manchester City. And later I will give you further details regarding that scenario. And also, it seems that Chelsea has been passing without shooting at the opponent's goal. It's useless possession without getting the goal. The possession is sounding useless match in, match out, without scoring. And I don't know if Werner is indeed a striker. Yes, I understand. And in some games, he played in the central as an arrowhead or the target man. He does well, especially against Southampton. But in this game, when you look at my preview, he wasn't suited to play this game. He wasn't suited to play this game at all, because you saw the crosses that Hakim Ziyech was sending in, and Timo Werner was too short for João Cancelo and Ruben Dias. The defensive network of Man City easily dealt with him, and there wasn't any threat up front against Man City. They had a field day, hence they were pouncing and attacking Chelsea through all angles. If Tammy Abraham was deployed there, I'm sure they wouldn't have had that audacity to be coming forward and creating chances. I said time and time again that Tammy Abraham, some of you may not like him, but I think his movement distracts and displays defenders. And so we need him. Remember the game against West Ham United when we had the 1-0 lead and it was difficult? Tammy Abraham, through his destructive nature, within 3 minutes, he had 2 goals to kill the game for us. Hence, we won 3-0. And that was even the only game we won in December. And Lampard didn't learn any lesson from that. He went into this game, deployed Timo Werner, thinking that his gamble would pay off. And I must admit, fine, sometimes gambles do pay off, but not against Man City. You gamble against weaker opposition, not a tough opposition like Man City. Normally, when you meet top opposition, you need to play the tactics that you are used and comfortable with. You don't go and gamble against Man City. Not at all. And why did Lampard also not effect substitution after even the first half? Let's put it, he was supposed to substitute after the first 40 minutes. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he gave them some few minutes to the break to see if anything could change out of the game. But he had to wait so many minutes before effecting his first substitution. And the substitution that he made wasn't impactful at all. You make a substitution which will bring impact into the game, like bringing a striker. Timo Werner was playing, yes, but he needed to go to the wings because he wasn't comfortable in central as a target man against the Man City defense. They crowded over him completely. Hence, you needed someone tall like Tammy Abraham. If even Tammy Abraham, you crowd on Tammy Abraham, you have his way of, winning some balls and trying some shots. We played the game and had, I think, only 2 shots on target. Kalino Sonodoi had to come in to even rescue us. It would have been 3-0. And those of you who haven't have the benefit of the doubt to watch my preview of this game, I gave the lineup that will lead to the prediction that I made of 2-0. And Lampard didn't stick to the lineup, but two important players, Clueless Hodoi and Tammy Abraham, didn't play. Those were the players that I put in my front three, and Timo Werner on the wings, not in the central, in the as the target man. No. So Timo Werner was in my lineup, yes, but I put him on the wings to run and come in with the ball and feed Tammy Abraham. And the Lampard didn't deploy that, hence we paid dearly for that. And Billy Gilmore and Kalum Osunodoi were exceptional. They were exceptional in this game, honestly. And I don't understand why we should spend £80 million to buy a player like Kai Havertz, and yet he can't make even our first 11, which is quite disastrous for us. And another question which is coming up is that the effort of our recruitment team, whether indeed Lampard really know the player Kai Havertz before even he buy. I know, and I still maintain on this show, that Timo Werner may come good at the end, but now he needs rest. It seems he's tired. Even a point in time he was about to kick a corner kick. He kicked grass and sand. You see, he nearly injured himself. This happens as a result of fatigue. He needs 2 matches or 3 matches rest. And now Callum Hudson-Odoi has made a stake to start the game for Chelsea, but I don't know why Lampard is still keeping him on the bench. And Lampard has been backed in the transfer window, but I don't know. At least I think all the transfer players, they are good. With only, I think Kai Havertz is the only issue that I have. We could have gotten Hussam Aouar for £50 million. Kai Havertz cost £80 million. Hussam Aouar of Olympic Lyon. Even remember, most of you guys who watch the Champions League, he played in the semi-finals with Lyon, and the Lyon team that defeated Man City 3-1. Hussam Aouar played in that game, and he bossed the midfield comprising Kevin De Bruyne and those guys. And Kai Havertz was only playing for Leverkusen in the Europa League, and you can't compare Europa League to the Champions League. And Arsenal went close to signing Hussam Aouar, but they had to settle for Thomas Partey in the last minute. Fine, Partey is equally a good player, but I think if they had gotten Hussam Aouar, it would have been fantastic for them. And I don't know why we spent £80 million on Kai Havertz whilst Hussam Aouar was available at £50 million. Come on, our recruitment team, I don't know what is happening. And now we don't have players that are even physically fit on the field. You see Pulisic dribbling fine, excellent, but he withdraws his legs. Hakim Ziyech, very good, excellent. I won't come here to attack him. He's an excellent player. But he's not physically strong as the kind of mode of players that I want. Chelsea used to have those mode of players, Lampard, Palak, Michael Essien, Drogba, who instill fears in opponents. When you see them, they are physically fit. Now you see Kai Havertz, he can't even stand well and even pass a ball. Sometimes he passes, most at times he gives wrong passes. It's only the game against Aston Villa that I think he came in the second half and did something a little bit decent. How do you buy a player for £80 million and tell us to wait for him for 2-3 years before he shines? Come on. Then we should have even bought him for 20 million or 30 million. Because £80 million player, you are supposed to make an instant hit. And also issues are coming with respect to Lampard, as well as his beef and troubles with some players like Marcus Alonso and then Antonio Rudiger. Antonio Rudiger's problem seems to have been solved now. Rudiger is getting some few minutes. Lampard's management is not good at all, and hence is killing the team. How do you bench player like Alonso just because he made a mistake in one game against West Brom? Alonso is tried and tested. He has won the league with Antonio Conte. Whether Lampard likes it or not, Alonso is experienced, even more experienced than Ben Chilwell, though I think Chilwell should still play, I understand, as the first choice. But in the pecking order, but Alonso should come ahead of Emerson. So, and also, how do you play tiki-taka with Pep Guardiola and think that you win? Lampard, in my preview, I said Lampard should manage games. Those of you who watched the preview, if you could quite remember, I highlighted that Lampard should manage games and went further to explain that we shouldn't be opening up so much You saw how Jose Mourinho played with Man City. He didn't open up. He defended and used the counter attacks and scored. Lampard, this same Lampard used the counter attack approach last season to defeat Pep Guardiola. But all of a sudden this season he thinks that he have a good squad. He can open up and play. No, we don't play that with Pep Guardiola, who some time back defeated Trash Mourinho 5-0 with Barcelona against Real Madrid when Mourinho was coaching Real Madrid. That's the kind of coach we are talking about. We were lucky in the first half. We could have gone down 6-0. Only that we were lucky and some decent saves with Mendy. Though I think the Gundogan goal, you should have done better, fine. It was a powerful shot, you should have reacted faster. But I think still, without his intervention, it would have been 6-0 in the first half. And going forward, our recruitment team should get players that can run and tackle and are very strong, like the Marcus Thuram of Mönchengladbach, Shea Adams of Southampton, and Hussam Aouar of Lyon. Those are the kind of players that are Chelsea materials and not Kai Havertz, honestly. I'm very annoyed. That's why I'm still bashing him. Though he was playing rubbish too. Against Aston Villa, he played a little bit decent. How do we spend such an amount and Billy Gilmour will be performing better than him? How can that be Billy Gilmour, who is an academy product of Chelsea, playing better than him? How come? 80 million pounds is not a child's joke. It's not a chicken feed for us to joke about. Let me do some screen display. And sources, according to the hierarchy of Chelsea, indicates that if results do not change in the next 3 games, Lampard might lose his jobs. And possible names already coming up are Ralph Hasenhuttl of Southampton, Brendan Rodgers of Leicester City, Max Allegri formerly of Juventus, and then Thomas Tuchel, formerly of Paris Saint-Germain. And I honestly don't fancy Thomas Tuchel at all. Maybe even Allegri I don't fancy. I fancy Ralph Hasenhuttl or Brendan Rodgers. They might be better suited because they know the Premier League better than these other guys. Yeah, so we have Billy Gilmour there. He came on and performed diligently in the few games he played. And once again, the issue of Mason Mount. Lampard is overusing him. I will not sit here and criticize Mason Mount. He's doing well according to his strength, but Lampard is overusing him to the extent that Mason Mount is having the confidence. The confidence is good, but sometimes he tries to even challenge senior players for free kicks in the game. That's the audacity that we've come to. And Lampard has given him that license to behave as a senior player. Meanwhile, he's a young player. You see what is happening in the team. And Mason Mount is a good player, but overusing him will not win Lampard games. That is the message that I'm putting across to Lampard. If he doesn't know, he should wake up before it's too late for him. This kind of shambolic selection, how do you send a player like Ross Barkley to loan when you know that he's experienced and he can play and contribute to Chelsea's success? You send him to loan, and now they are even thinking of selling him off to fund Declan Rice. Declan Rice, maybe it's a good material, fine. I've been watching him. I will vouch for Declan Rice because I watch him week in, week out in the Premiership. But Kai Havertz, we didn't know so much about him. And Lampard bought him. And how do you buy a player that I think, maybe Lampard will come and defend that he knows a lot about him, but I think he doesn't know so much about him. A player that even is not physically strong to even tackle and win balls. Come on. Yeah, the 3-1 the scoreline there. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne celebrating his 3rd goal. Phil Foden there. And then Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne celebrating their 3rd goal. Yeah, and so it pisses us off to be thinking about this shambolic performance. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Touch the notification bell, send in your comments. Do let me know in the comment box what you feel about my program, and share, most importantly, to many viewers to also join the feed. Thank you very much for joining me on the show. Cheers. I love you wherever you are. Bye-bye with one piece. Still blue is the color. Remember. Cheers.